All right, it's Friday, it's the NTI Townsville 500. It's been an awesome day, a couple of practice sessions for Repco Supercars, and Andre Heimgartner finishes the day on top. Just want your thoughts, Andre, on what you've learnt today and how we think things may evolve from here as this track continues to evolve.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The difference between the two sessions is pretty significant. And I think a lot of people changed their car to suit the end of practice one and probably regretted that at the start of practice two. So I think we're going to see a similar evolution tomorrow morning, different temperature, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's cool. You've got to know your car, know what tunings to which, and whoever can get top of it the fastest, I guess, will be strong.
You in particular have been quite strong for the last sort of 3 events now, picking up a range of podiums, and you're right there with it at the moment. Do you have the ability to make big changes like that and hit the mark consistently?
Yeah, well, the BJR car is obviously pretty strong here, so they sort of know what they're playing with, which is handy. So for us, it's just tuning to the conditions and trying to stay in the game as such. But it seems to be pretty consistent. We carry on a pretty familiar theme since Perth, which has worked for us, and it seems to be working so far.
You've sort of become the number one driver there, and you're certainly getting the results that would prove that. How much are you sort of taking a leadership role within the team, given that all your co-drivers, all your teammates are particularly young?
Yeah, it's good. It's cool. They're all eager to learn. Obviously, I think Macaulay's working really hard. Ended up 5th, I think, in that or 4th. So he's learning a lot. Bryce also keen to learn. So it's been cool to go in and have young guys around you that want to learn, want to do the work, and want to we do all sorts of stuff like skid pad days and different other cool stuff. So it's a cool little group. Was that something talked about before you arrived at BJR, or did that sort of just happen? It kind of just happened. I guess I'm in my 7th year, so a lot of those other guys are in their 3rd or 2nd or whatever. So I think it just naturally happened.
It's been weird for you because you've been that young guy for seems like the last few years. Now you're sort of the more mature guy there, sort of not too dissimilar right to the bloke next to you.
Yeah, I think we had basically the same amount of races. I don't feel like I'm that experienced, I guess. Like Shane probably thinks yesterday he did his first race, but the years fly by and they just rack up after a while.
All right, nice job, mate. Well done today. Topping that session, we'll go to Cam, who is second on the time cards for now. Just Tickford's day, mate, and where do you think you are? I mean, obviously second in practice times, but do you feel like that's where you are?
I reckon we're about second. We ran a tight in that last one, and the car felt pretty good. It's not doing everything right, but I think a bit of that's just a hard tyre, and the cars in general probably don't feel like they're going hard up to being on the super soft and the soft. So we definitely made improvement between P1, P2, and other cars are trying stuff as well. So it's good to have the car up there, and we'll get the other ones up there tomorrow.
What sort of races do you reckon we're going to see this weekend with the hard and soft combos?
I don't think we see a lot of passing on the hard tyre. It's pretty sketchy in all the brake zones, so to ask a little bit more from it it's not going to give it to you. So I think that'll be is what it is. But then when we put the super softs on, I think that's when the race will probably come alive. Hopefully my car's good on its tyre. I think that's going to be the key.
What about doing a shootout lap on that hard rubber around here and phasing it in time to be able to start the lap? Does that process change much this weekend?
You probably just see people locking up and stuff into turn 2. It is harder to get the hard tyre up than what is a soft or super soft, so that will be a little bit of a challenge, but it's the same for everyone.
Okay. Hey Shane, Andre's quickest lap was actually back-to-back sort of fast laps. He said in an interview that's probably not the way to do it here this week, and you probably could go on the first lap, but do you feel like tomorrow getting that timing right, the phasing right of the tyre is going to be any different to normal?
Well, you get pole in the shootout, so we focused on one lap, but you're probably better to do a warming lap or an 80% lap and then push on your second, but you want to try and practice the shootout, but we don't have enough tyres to do 2 runs tomorrow, so probably be doing rears and shuffling and funky stuff like that, so qualifying will be interesting tomorrow, yeah.
What kind of races do you expect to see? Similar to what Cam said?
Yeah, something like that. It's going to be pretty boring until everyone puts the soft on at the end, and whoever's brave enough to put it on early and try and make it last.
Seen some pretty sketchy stuff on the pit apron coming in for those pit stop practice. Did you notice it was slippery at all or any different there?
No, it's fine.
How about, did you do a practice start at the end?
I did, yeah. I don't want to jinx it.
It was a good one, wasn't it?
When the pressure's on, yeah.
How much work did you spend on that at the test day?
A lot.
Is that just your key focus this weekend to make sure you get the thing off the line?
Yeah, like we've lost a lot of races this year by not getting the start. You know, it's so hard to pass in modern supercars, and if you can get to the front at the first corner or jump a row, like it sets up your day. So yeah, I need to get better.
Were you able to learn anything off Garth in that area?
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything different this weekend procedurally?
Yep.
Could you enlighten us?
I'll get off the line.
Do you have a different setup in your car in terms of line locker devices and things to the rest of the field?
I have a button, yeah.
A button?
Yeah. The line locker, yeah.
Have we lost his mind?
Yeah. Is there a button on that?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Is it like that button?
Yeah.
You're quick on the line lock already.
Question.
All right, so apart from that, where's the 2 Red Bull cars sit for the week?
Well, we don't really know. I felt good after the first practice, and then obviously as Andre sort of spoke about the track change, and our car went away a bit. My first new tyre run was good, then we tried something for the second and just missed the mark a bit. So we need to come up with something that suits that track, but also tomorrow morning it's going to be completely different. So we need to see.
How important are the 2 Dunlop Series cars, because they're going to qualify on similar rubber? Are you going to learn much from them?
No, it's completely different aero kit and stuff.
Yeah, so not much to be gained from that.
No.
Okay, cool. Got a microphone and we're happy to pass it around.
Shane, just a question for you. In practice one, we saw at one point that you were shifting gears with your right hand. What was the go with that?
I was resetting my fuel number and it didn't work in time, so we kept resetting it and shifted with the other, so nothing major.
Shane, well, just a quick one. I know you're a proud Kiwi. How good is it to see another Kiwi, Andre, regularly up there, you know, as he has been for probably quite a few months now?
Yeah, it's sort of when Fabian and Scotty have gone, it's diluted it a bit, but yeah, obviously having Andre and the others in, Richie will be back for Bathurst, but hopefully Supercars in New Zealand's going to be good. Like going there last week and seeing everyone there starved for top level motorsport there, so I can't wait to get over there. And if we're both up the front, it's going to be awesome. And normally the Kiwi guys don't care who it is, just as long as it's one of us. So hopefully we're strong there.
Andre, you said start of the year we're going to race sometime this year. You know, last year Shane and Cam did all the winning here. Do you feel that you guys have got the package, from what you can tell so far, to take it with these guys over 250 k's?
I think it's too early to tell. You've got to have more than just a fast car over one lap, so that's been our weakness, especially the last few rounds. So we just haven't been able to hang on to podium positions because of the race pace. So that's something we have to work on before we worry about trying to win a race right now.
Right, just to get everyone's opinion on the hard compound tyre, do you agree with these guys that we probably won't see too much passing, or it will be difficult to pass on that tyre?
Yeah, I don't think you'll be putting many moves on. You'll probably be making people make mistakes, and as the tyre deck hits its cliffs, you'll probably see people locking rears a bit more and stuff like that. So probably more mistakes maybe.
And just on your form recently, I mean, it's no great surprise to see a BJR car, at the front in terms of outright pace, particularly something like here, but there's been a lot of consistency on very different styles of circuits over the last 4 rounds. Have you actually unlocked something in the car, do you think, that's made a step forward as opposed to just rolling the thing out well and having a good weekend and not necessarily knowing exactly why?
Well, I think it always takes time when you join a team to get to know how everything works, how the team runs its car. So he rolled out in the first race this year, I qualified 4th. So obviously the combination was working, but then we had a couple up and down rounds just figuring out my driving style versus what Nick previously had and how we had to tune the car and stuff like that. So obviously now we're getting more in tune. Engineer Tony's making changes that obviously suit my driving style and understanding how the car works, and it just gels together a bit more, then you're able to be more consistent. So.
Last call. Thanks for your time, guys. See you back here later. Oh, sorry, one more?
Yeah, one more.
Yep, sorry.
Hey Andre, we heard Shane's take on the New Zealand-Australia rivalry. Can you just give us your perspective on flying that black flag proud?
Yeah, it's cool. It's the best thing is when we do a shootout lap, they all get up for when the New Zealanders start the lap. It's almost like one of us has won a race, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, for us, we don't have any home races obviously for the last 2 years, so this is our only one. So to go back, all my family, all our families will be extremely excited, all our friends, everyone. So it's really cool for us to get back and have a home race, I guess.